Hey traders, welcome to OptionsTender. It is Friday, June 6, 2025. It's about 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing this video, and we're going to go through the usual setup here. Check SPX out, SPY, and we'll go to IWM and QQQ either on the 65 or the daily. It doesn't really matter. I want to show you that QQQ may have topped out already, and that IWM made a video for members yesterday to make sure we had on some IWM call protection, some hedges for our puts, and those worked out nicely. And they could continue to go, and that's what I want to explain. So we're doing this intraday. If you want to get these videos intraday so it could help your trading out, or maybe show you something that you might not have seen, please consider becoming a YouTube supporter for 99 cents. It's 99 cents a month, and it comes with the Discord and trade alerts. And then for $4.99 a month, I go through the I do members videos on all the trade alerts, so you can see what kind of setup, what I'm looking at, and why I chose to do that. Now, yesterday we did that on SPY. I did that for the public, and I showed that, and it worked out wonderful. So we took off the SPY trades and QQQ trades before end of day, and we reloaded today on the gap up, and there still might be a half a point left to the upside or so if you go down to the 5 minute and all you 1 minute traders. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We have SPX on the daily time frame. We have our bearish rising wedge here. We're having so far a reversal candle. We're really just riding up this new wedge. You can do it in a couple different ways, and I like James Irish in our Discord. He has these beautiful clean charts, and I love that. So this was our original here, and and I do have these on a lower time frames. They're just the same, but I do like how his are nice and clean. And I want to give you credit for that. And then you have your secondary trend line this way. So there's a couple ways you can do things. And you see that price action's holding on to here. And what you're going to see on the lower time frames that we're having a last move here, ending diagonal, where wave 1 and 4 crossed. So that move could have been done with all the divergences and everything. And that was a really objective, awesome trade, and we got a nice big move out of it, and now we're looking for the same thing. Okay, so quickly, moving averages, everything's in bullish posture. Clearly got a reaction off that 8 EMA again. Calling oscillator, we made a new high. Guess what? More divergence. This thing is, we have to see a lot more pick up here on the breadth in order for this to for us to think that this is like a 1-2, a nesting, a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and just rip to the upside. Okay, that's highly unlikely. Negative divergence again, another one right here. So we had one here, and near term, and momentum is heading to the downside. We're finally getting our cross. We didn't have that yesterday. Now we have a cross, not only an early sell signal from the leader line crossing over the slow stochastic. We have also the sell signal at the 80. We're back testing this trend, and now I think we're going to cycle down, and we should see that reflect on price action to the downside. DMARC, have we been holding out for a 9 count? We will have that 9 count on Monday, so we'll have a 9-9 sell. If we don't cross over 1, 2, 3, 4 bars underneath. So you have plenty of room. If we don't close underneath, then we're going to have a nice 9 count sell signal. It doesn't have to be higher than this candle. It could be lower. So we're looking for a great setup. I wasn't sure if that was going to come into fruition, and it did. So awesome. That gives us more confidence in our trade setup. So we have a setup on the McClellan oscillator. We know breadth is heading lower. I know it's pointing up, but we're in a neutral territory while price is going up. It's diverging. We have a setup in the OptionsTender, the MACD setup. We have a DMARC setup. We have an awesome oscillator setup. That's a negative divergence. And let's go to SPY so we can check out the money flow. Now, I'm showing all of these things starting to line up. It doesn't have to do that. It can be, you know, 2 of the 3, and then we get a reversal. But it's giving us great. I would almost rather this situation happen where you're grinding out and you can really start to load up on some puts, and you can have a lot more confidence in a reversal in a situation like this, very similar to this move here, right? So rather than you get to a point, and I'm fine with this too, you get to a point, you start putting on some put plays, and you have like 3 days to do it, and everything just it crashes before you can really start to load into your puts. We're going to be in a really, really good situation when this reverses, and I think we're getting that reversal candle today. I highly doubt on a Friday that we'll see this gap close or anything, but we'll see if maybe we even get a gap over it going into next week. I don't know. Usually when you have a bullish Friday, then you can see that follow through on Monday, but we're not taking our chances on that. Okay. Money flow index, negative divergence. Look, we made a new high today. I can constantly make more of these. So we made it a new high as of a couple days, 3 days in a row. I'm not going to draw 3 different candles. So we got another one with this right here. So negative divergence. Once again, distribution. That's what that says. Now we're getting tight in this Bollinger Band here. Are we touching the top? Not quite touching the top. Maybe going into Monday, if we get a little bit higher, then we'll have an actual setup on the Bollinger Band. So not yet. Volume shelf, we know that we're at a volume. The L8 oscillator says we're into wave 3, into 4. Now let's go on the lower time frame so we can see let's go on the lower time frames. Let's go to VIX while we're on the daily. So VIX is penetrating into here. We made a lower high. So we're underneath this trend line. We're into this box territory. We made a lower low here today. Again, we're in that timing low area, that zone. And so was that it? This little bounce here? Maybe we can keep dropping. So if the VIX continues to drop, obviously price action on SPY is going to continue higher, but we're in that daily dominant cycle low. Let's go to the 65 on these, and then I'll show you IWM and the VIX and QQQ. So let's go to, here's our traditional look, and this is what I was talking about. We have our bearish rising wedge here. We broke down from that. Now we have this slower moving wedge as well. And so again, some people are probably looking at this. You have a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe we're starting to get into wave 3. I have a lot of counts I see like that, and then we're moving higher. Anything's possible, especially if it have some sort of catalyst. This was our trade from yesterday, the 589. We didn't even get to that point, but I took off profit before there because we were more than double, I want to say, on it, and so there's no reason to hold on. So let's take this trade off, and I took off the Qs at the end of the trading day as well. So it looks like we're kind of flagging here. We could just go up to a little bit higher, and I'll show you the targets on those. And what else on here? Let's go through the indicators. OptionsTender setup, another divergent high there. Again, divergence is piling up. You know, the market does this for whatever reason. You know, it obviously knows what kind of trades are out there. If tons of people are in this Friday put trade here, if you're shorting the market into today or whatever the case is, then you got wrecked, right? There's no doubt about that. And I'm sorry, I hate to hear people lose money. That's what this channel is very supportive That's why I don't read the comments in YouTube anymore. So sorry if you're commenting on there. I know every once in a while I catch a glimpse, and I know there's people supporting Gabriel, stuff like that. You always say thank you for the analysis and things like that. So I really appreciate you guys being there, but it's very toxic in that in the comments. So I don't really look at those very often. We want to be very constructive and lead people in the right direction to make these and manage your trades. That's what it's all about. And so I think we have a 5-wave move in here. At this point, we could have before had a B and some sort of little wave 4 in here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave B. Now I think it's highly unlikely that we even have we can always make a bullish presentation. I'll show you that in a second. We're going to have to change it again because we have a 5-wave move in here. That's all there is to it. And so this is the end of something, or it's the beginning of something. All right. So keep that in mind. Maybe this is a leading diagonal if you're bullish for a last wave. Okay. Rattling on. DMARC. 9, and we're starting a new count. Awesome oscillator. Negative divergence. Again. Again and again. This is going to reverse, and it's going to take out many, many, many days of trading. All right, so hopefully you're just not holding stock here. You'll wipe out your trades in probably 1 or 2 days when it does reverse. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't get much more flow out of here than that. So unless this starts to really ramp up, money is just coming out, right? Maybe retail's buying, whatever the excuse is. We made a new high here. We made a new low. Distribution. Bollinger Band. Now in the lower time frame, this is a sell. Price action's getting really tight in here. We have our sell signal. We got it today. We're not even overbought anymore. That's how negative the divergence is here. The market's weak. It's going to sell. I don't know if we're going to get a 5-wave move in here and then we make a lower high, or if this is a flag, we make a higher high. But either way, it's not worth a point in SPY unless you're really just scalping. So the LA oscillator, again, showing wave 4 into 5. Wave 3 into 5. So you have a wave 3 into a wave 5 of a lesser degree. Then you get a nice correction and you make a new high here. And that's a wave 3 of this last move with a wave 3 into 5 here. But on the lower end, wave 3 into wave 5. That's what that shows. Okay, here's our scenario. So we're looking at the main scenario being that we're getting a 5 in here, and now it's much more confident with the indicators, and we made it to the target, our first minor target. Now, if something else is happening, then we have targets up above as well. But we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move in here, and again, maybe it ekes out a new high and has another doji candle into this zone, a 601 zone. Either way, I think this move is done, and we'll be looking for a wave 1, and it's not going to be pretty. So with this last wave here, I was looking at this possibly being a longer wave 4. I suppose you could still say this is maybe a zigzag, an A, B, and C with a larger wave 4, but we got that crossover there that just doesn't fit very well. I think we have a 5-wave move, but if for some reason you are able to count this as a 3-wave move, maybe that still is a C wave. But what makes more sense now that we really can draw this diagonal in here, let's borrow that. And so we're drawing this diagonal with the bodies here and the wicks here. And what we'd be looking for, here's the rest of it. Okay, so what we'd be looking for at this point is this diagonal to break down, and on a bullish terms, we shouldn't get below, obviously, a new low, but what we should hold is one of these retracements around the 62% retracement. So it could be any of them, but it's more likely to be in that 50-60%. Let me just keep those on there for now, so we don't have a busy chart, an angry chart. That's what Sean, that's for you. And this would no longer be, this would be a wave 4 in here. And this we can use later. Boom. And then instead of this being a wave 5 right here, now you're looking for, and we're constantly trying to teach this on the Discord with members. If this is a 5-wave move, then we don't want this to be 5 anymore. We want this to be an extension. So this would be changed to a wave 1. I'll put a little I here for 1. Roman numeral. So even if we got a new high here, we're still looking at that being a 1. And then if price action holds around this 50-60, just can't make a new low. 2. And again, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. So I'm not going to draw all those in there right now. And this is the invalidation of that at a new low there. Okay, so that's your bullish look where you get an extension. Instead of this being 5, you have a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 higher. All right, so that's what we'll be looking for on a bullish setup. And that's it there. So let's go ahead and look at the Qs. Now the Qs could be telling me if it wants to do the same thing as SPY, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it hasn't made a new high yet. So if it wants to eke out a new high, then so be it. So it has, but we were actually counting this as, I think I might have the count in here already, as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with your Elliott oscillator, you have your wave 3. This is not the correct count at this point. This is the correct inside, but we would have a 1, 2, 1, 2 somewhere. I'm not going to go through all this. And wave 3 up here, done. And then a lesser degree, wave 3, which made a new high. It would have to be here. Let's see, here and here. So we're looking at a top and possibly into a 3, 4, 5, and then on a higher degree 4, 5. So that would be a 4 into 5, 4 and 5 to end this move here. Okay, and if price goes up a little bit higher, we have, again, if it wants to count the same way as SPY, we have a price target here at 533.77 right above. And that, how do we get those? We have the correction. You take the correction here from the top of wave 3 into wave 4, and you map out where those, and you can overlay them with each correction. You can overlay those to get a fib cluster. Now, IWM. I'll put the full length video up above for members if you're interested in seeing that. But this is really it for IWM. It was holding on to this possible new trend. All right, we're there and we popped up again. And what we're looking for was this to be, I don't have it on this one. Oh, I have it on RUT. Okay, well, I'll just explain it. We have this move here, and what we're looking for is the nesting, just like anything else, along with an ascending triangle. So the ascending triangle would be from here to there, and here's your neckline. And we have the breakout so far, all right? But what made me take off this hedge on a nice pop like this, it has the same kind of move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to end this entire move. And then it gave us not just on here, but divergences on all the rest of them as well. So we got a divergence there. It doesn't mean that that can't play out. We do technically have a breakout, and there's nothing negating that yet. But obviously a breakdown back into the zone and breaking the trend would do such. Okay, so that's why we took it off, and everything's looking bearish. And there's more. I'll go through this on the weekly time frame, and I'll show you what the what price action is against. It's really pretty negative, especially on IWM. So stay tuned for that, and we'll do that tomorrow. So make sure you hit that notification bell if you're new here, so you can get these videos when I make them. This one we're doing intraday, so if you're not a member, you'll probably get this later, but it comes out to the public at 4 p.m. So no big deal if you don't mind getting it after the bell. And we'll just check out the VIX again, and that's about it. And then we'll end it here. Okay, so you had this bearish rising wedge. It looks just like the rest of the market, right? You had this setup here. We broke out from it. Nice trade there. But now we're breaking back down. We made a new low. We have divergences, all that good stuff on here as well. So you have another positive divergence here. Another setup, same way, smaller wedge. All right, and this is going to break out. We had to expand the wedge because we had one more wave up here yesterday, and that's what broke down. So we expanded it. Since we made a new low here, we expanded the wedge. Give it the benefit of the doubt. So when we break out from this, we know for sure that things are happening. All right. That's it, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.